Welcome in, Bills Mafia. Welcome back to another edition of the Go Bills podcast here on YouTube and Instagram. We are super excited to be back with you after a few days off. It's been an uneventful week for the Buffalo Bills fans. It has been something that nobody ever expected to happen. And obviously, we want to send our thoughts and prayers. That's the first and foremost thing that we want to do is send our thoughts and prayers to the Hamlin family as well as Damar Hamlin. And we are wishing you a speedy recovery. All the news that has come out over the last few days has been incredible. All the updates that we've gotten from UC Medical Center as well as the Buffalo Bills and everybody that we've gotten updates from, they've been in the right direction and exactly what Buffalo has needed over the last few days. And it's been since Monday, it's been incredibly hard, incredibly difficult, and I'm glad that the outcome is right where it should be. And we're wishing a speedy recovery. We hope to see Damar on the field again soon, but the most important thing is we wish Damar a speedy recovery, and we wish him back to normal health as soon as possible. It's been difficult. I won't lie, guys. It's been very difficult. I'm going to try and be as honest as possible with this. The last few days, getting through what we saw on the field, it's been very uneasy. I know for all of Bill's Mafia and myself included, but being a passionate fan for so many years and what we saw on the field for one of our guys that is playing for the Buffalo Bills, it was difficult to see, difficult to watch, whether it was a Buffalo Bills player or if it was a player from another team. It's somebody's life that's at stake. And I cannot give enough credit to the UC Medical Center as well as the medical staff of the Buffalo Bills, as well as the medical staff of the Cincinnati Bengals and everybody that's been involved in the process of getting Damar back to normal health. It's incredible to watch, from the doctors to the assistant athletic training member of the Buffalo Bills, Denny K. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but Denny K. And the paramedics, everybody that's been involved in this process over the last few days, I got to give them as much credit as possible because they've done everything that you could possibly do, and they've done it without wanting any recognition or anything like that. And it's incredible to see so many different people and all the stories that you've heard across social media from different people and different players, whether it's guys on other teams, and the movement that's been going on right now with so many different teams and all the teams that are wearing support for Damar shirts and everything. It's incredible to see. And the best thing about it is the GoFundMe page that Damar has, which has been linked to our Instagram page. If you would like to donate to that page, it's on our Instagram page right now. So you can go ahead and donate to that. But the GoFundMe page raising over $8 million for his charity. And it's incredible to see. It's incredible to be a part of. And it makes me so glad to be a Buffalo Bills fan, knowing that when one of our guys is down and one of our guys needs our help, that we support him each and every week. And I have to give a lot of credit to the Cincinnati Bengals for the utmost class that they've had over the last few days. And the Cincinnati Bengals also checking in with us, and the captain's coming over to the locker room to talk to us as well. Joe Burrow, T. Higgins. I mean, you cannot give enough credit to T. Higgins for what he did, going to the hospital and visiting Damar. And there's been a lot of uproar from social media to T. Higgins, and that is totally not deserved because this is a football play, something that happens every single play where it's a bang bang play and they're just playing football, and there's no way, shape, or form that this was a violent hit that was somebody that was targeting or anything like that. That's not the case. It was a football play, and it should stay on the football field, and there shouldn't be any hate towards T. Higgins or anything like that. He doesn't deserve any of the hate that's going around, and for all of us that are football fans that watch that play, we all know that there was no harm that was meant on that play. So all the hate that's going around towards T. Higgins, that's not right. You should be praising him for what he's done, because he went to the hospital and visited Damar Hamlin. He was there. He wanted to stay there until after he found a good update from the staff and everything. He wanted to stay there until he opened his eyes, and that's not what you're hearing on social media. You're hearing a lot of uproar and everything else about that. That's not the case. T has been the utmost class over the last few weeks, or the last few days. I'm sorry, and he really does care. He feels very sorry for the hit, even though it wasn't his fault, and it's sad to see a player uh, be in that situation where he feels responsible for the hit that happened. That's not the case. It was not his fault whatsoever. It's a football play. And I want to say, I don't know if T. Higgins will ever watch this show. I pray that, if he does, that he hears my words, because it's sincere. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. There's nothing that happened on that field that was your fault, man. And it's disappointing that there's a ton of fans that are saying what they're saying about you, because you don't deserve it. You're a hell of a football player. And I wish you all the best going forward, and everybody from the Cincinnati Bengals, all the respect in the world to you guys, from your coach all the way down. You can see that you're led by a man who is an incredible guy, and he is somebody that, he's always going to be tied to this game. The two coaches, and Zach Taylor and Sean McDermott, are going to be tied to this game, and they're always going to be tied to what happened on that field. And I don't think that there's two better guys on both teams that can lead their men than Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor. And they're going to get this right. They're going to get through it. And all the adversity that you see on that football field, and they're going to get through it. And it's going to be good. I really think that that's going to happen. And I wish the Cincinnati Bengals success, whether it's against any other team but the Buffalo Bills. But I do respect a lot, and you can tell the Cincinnati fans are very passionate fans as well. So it's incredible to see Cincinnati Bengals fans coming to the hospital and rooting on the Buffalo Bills player that was hurt. It's incredible to see. So Cincinnati Bengals fans, I have the utmost respect for you as well. But today we're going to talk about something that's we're going to move forward on this. And while our thoughts and prayers are with Damar Hamlin, we were going to move on to the New England Patriots and Buffalo Bills game this Sunday, tomorrow actually, at 1 p.m. in Orchard Park, New York. It's going to be an electric game. You know what's going to be going on. There's going to be a ton of emotion going through this game. And I can't wait for this game, because it's something that Buffalo Bills fans need. We need the football back. And while I don't have the most energy right now, like I said, my thoughts and prayers are with Damar. So we're going to try and get through this, because that's what Damar would want. He and his father would want as well. And he's pushed me to get through this, because honestly, I wasn't going to have a show this week, guys. I really wasn't. I wasn't sure if it was right, out of respect for the family. But Mario Hamlin said, to all of Bills Mafia, pretty much, and to the team, to move forward from this game. So we're going to start moving forward, even though our thoughts and prayers are with him, and we're going to always have his back. So let's move forward to the New England Patriots and Buffalo Bills game this Sunday at 1 p.m. at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Jim Nance, Tony Romo on the call tomorrow. And it is going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to it. Two heavyweights in the AFC East going up against each other, in Josh Allen and Mac Jones. Two great defenses going up against each other, in the Buffalo Bills defense and the New England Patriots defense. So let's jump in. Let's begin this show with that. We are going to discuss a ton of things today. We have the keys to the game, as well as key matchups. We'll also have an injury report that I'm going to have to pull up, because I wasn't quite ready to get this show going. But we're going to pull up our injury report for the game. So bear with me 1 second while we do that. We'll get that injury report up very shortly. But first and foremost, let's start this thing with the Buffalo Bills and New England Patriots. So for the New England Patriots, my first key to the matchup is going to be Mac Jones versus the Buffalo Bills. And in the last game between the Buffalo Bills and New England Patriots, which was 4 weeks ago, the Bills did a really good job of eliminating the pass in the game. They were able to eliminate the pass and not allow any plays deep down the field for Mac Jones. He didn't have anywhere to throw the ball really in that game. The leading receiver in the game was actually a special teams player in Marcus Jones, who had a 50-yard touchdown in the game. All other receivers for the New England Patriots were stopped pretty much in the game. The Patriots are 8-8 this year. The Bills 12-3. The Patriots are led by, obviously, you know him by now, in a guy who has been there forever, and pretty much, I think he is like a grandfather there in Bill Belichick. And this is a game I want to bring this up because it's kind of funny, and I also want to extend some more news to you guys. I know you guys don't really know me off screen, but I want to give a little something out there. I don't know if he's going to be watching, but sometimes he does. My step-grandfather sometimes watches my show, and he's a New England Patriots fan, and I wasn't able to see him on Christmas because he was battling a medical issue, and if he does watch the show, I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to you as well, and also a couple other people that I want to as well that are in his family. I don't want to mention their names, but I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to them. You know who you are. And also John Murphy, radio broadcaster for the Buffalo Bills, who experienced a stroke last weekend. I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to him as well before I forget. Moving on, Mac Jones, let's talk about him. Like I said, 4 weeks ago, he playing against the Buffalo Bills. He didn't have the best game, like I said, and it wasn't great numbers. I'm going to try and pull up the stats real quick. In the 24-10 win against the Bills, he was 22 of 36 for 195 yards, 1 touchdown. But again, like I said, the one play where he had a big play was the 50-yard touchdown to Marcus Jones. All other receivers held to under 140 yards in the game. The next leading receiver was Tyquan Thornton, and he had 2 receptions for 31 yards in the game. So the Bills really eliminated the deep ball for Mac Jones, and they're also able to eliminate different receivers from getting open. And this has been a group for the New England Patriots that has been a mix. It's been mostly Tyquan Thornton, Ramondre Stevenson, Jacoby Myers, and Nelson Aguilar. Each week, one of them is getting the ball thrown their way, as well as Hunter Henry as well, that's been getting the ball thrown his way as well. So it's been a little bit of a question mark as to who's the number one receiver for the New England Patriots. But I do think that they have some good players on their team as far as Devontae Parker, as well as Kendrick Bourne. And I think that the numbers that you saw 4 weeks ago don't reflect what's happened over the last 4 weeks for the New England Patriots. They are 2-2 over the last few weeks, and Mac Jones has been a lot better over the last 2 weeks throwing the ball. He has 4 interceptions over the last 2 weeks, and his leading receiver has been Hunter Henry. So that's a player that the Bills are going to have to watch out for in the game against the New England Patriots this weekend. As for other players that the Bills are going to need to watch out for is Ramondre Stevenson. He is a running back that has been able to torch the Bills, especially last year when we played them. And the Bills have been struggling a little bit with the run game. They are averaging 4.3 yards per carry, and Ramondre Stevenson is averaging 4.8 yards per carry. So you're going to have to worry about if the Bills are in a tight and close game, the ball might be going to Ramondre Stevenson, who has been pretty much the saving grace for the New England offense over the past few weeks, and that's how they're getting their bread and butter done on offense. Is they're being able to run the ball with Ramondre Stevenson, which opens up the play action for Mac Jones to be able to get the ball to his receivers. So I do think that the Bills are going to have to worry about Ramondre Stevenson and stopping the run, as well as the play action passes to players like Hunter Henry as well. Other players to keep your eyes on, Jakobi Meyers, who is a special teams ace for the New England Patriots, and somebody who hasn't had the best numbers overall this season, but is a really good wide receiver right now. He is the number one receiver for the New England Patriots this year. And overall this season, he has 772 yards this season, 64 receptions for 5 touchdowns. Although the Patriots have been trying to move him around the line of scrimmage, he hasn't done a lot in the run game, so you don't have to really worry about him. He does have 2 attempts for a negative 11 yards, so you're not going to see a lot of jet sweeps and stuff like that. But the Patriots are going to have to get the ball to their playmakers in this game, and I do think that Jakobi Meyers is going to be the playmaker that they're going to try to get the ball to, especially when Buffalo has had a little bit of a weak spot in the area of the number one cornerback going up against the number one wide receiver. And that's been the case. It was early on in the season that you saw that happening, where it was different guys like Justin Jefferson as well as Amari Cooper having big games for against the Buffalo Bills. And I think that Buffalo is going to need to play some tighter coverage up against these receivers. And if I'm Buffalo, I'm playing more of a soft zone against Mac Jones. Let him take the short passes, but don't give him anything over the top in this game. Let them try and beat you over the top, and that's never going to happen because Buffalo has a really good secondary, and I don't think that Mac Jones can throw over the top of this Bills defense. As for other players to keep your eyes out for on this Patriots offense, another guy that I will mention is, let me pull him up real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Is Jonnu Smith as well, another tight end for the Patriots. The Patriots do like to run that 2 tight end set. So I do think that that's going to be an area where the Patriots are going to run those 2 tight end sets, one to Hunter Henry and the other one to Jonnu Smith. And those are the 2 big free agent splashes that the Patriots had a few years ago. So I do think the ball's going to go to one of those 2 tight ends. Let's run over to YouTube and come in with a comment from Chill Sill Bills. And if you haven't subscribed to Chill Sill Bills, go ahead and subscribe to him. He has been a focal point of the Go Bills podcast last week. And unfortunately, with the circumstances that have happened with Damar Hamlin, we weren't able to collaborate much more. But we do have some new content that's coming out over the next few weeks. And it's going to be some great content. Great content. So go over to Chill Sill Bills on YouTube and Instagram and follow him. He's also going to have a new YouTube channel a new Twitter channel coming out very shortly. So don't forget to go over to his Twitter account and follow him as well. Let's go over to the Bills offense, and I want to bring up some good matchups that are going to be going on against the Bills offense. And the first one I'm going to bring up is the Patriots going up against, in this game, it's going to be Stefon Diggs. And this is going to be a great matchup for Stefon Diggs because there really isn't a good number one cornerback for the New England Patriots. And I think the last time the Bills played the Patriots, Stefon Diggs had 7 catches overall in the game, 92 yards and a touchdown. So I think this is going to be a game where Buffalo is going to be able to get Stefon Diggs the ball often and early. And I think they're going to have a ton of success getting him the ball. I think the Bills offense is going to be locked and loaded. They're going to want to get this game won for Damar Hamlin. And I think there's going to be a new emphasis on the offense, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ken Dorsey is going to dial up in this game. Other players that I'm looking forward to, Dawson Knox, who's been having a really good game over the last few weeks. He's been a focal point in the offense, and he's getting the ball thrown his way early. And I like this matchup for Dawson Knox because he's going to be going up against Kyle Duggar, who's a smaller safety. That's a match utilize Dawson Knox, especially in the red zone. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Bills are going to do in the red zone when the ball is going to be thrown his way, and if they're going to go to Knox or if they're going to go to a different receiver as well. Don't forget to call up John Brown from the practice squad today, and he is going to probably suit up. I imagine that they will put him in the game, but we'll know more when the inactives come out later this week. Other players on the Bills offense that have been lighting it up and I'm looking forward to, James Cook, who last time the Bills played the New England Patriots had a really good game against them. He was the leading rusher for the Bills with 64 yards, and he almost had 100 yards against the a few weeks ago, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him and seeing what he can do against this New England offense that has been blitzing the quarterbacks quite often. They've been blitzing quarterbacks 24% of the time, so if Buffalo's smart, they're going to check the ball down to the running backs, and it's going to open up holes for guys like James Cook and Devin Singletary in this game. And I think there's going to be tons of yards after the carry and yards after contact in this game. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the running backs are going to do in this game as well. Another player I'm looking forward to seeing out there is obviously our guy, Isaiah McKenzie. Really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do on the field as well. Remember last time that he played the Patriots, which I'm not saying the last time, but actually the last time I'll bring that up, he had 44 yards. But before that, he also had a 100-yard game against the Patriots later in the season last year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the slot, seeing what he's going to do as far as different routes, and hopefully he gets another 100 yards against the Patriots. Remember that the Bills will need a win tomorrow to secure the number 2 seed in the playoff race. The Kansas City Chiefs did clinch the number 1 seed in home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Although Buffalo will not have a shot at getting the number 1 seed, they can get the number 2 seed ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals. And there's been a ton of different scenarios for the playoffs. So don't forget about that if the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills face in the playoffs and then the AFC Championship game, the game will be held at a neutral site. If the Bills and Bengals play, it'll be held at a neutral site as well. And if Kansas City and the Cincinnati Bengals play as well, that'll be held at a neutral site. So a ton of different scenarios and stuff that the NFL has implemented for this season because of the circumstances that have happened. And I do think it's pretty fair. And I think it's good that the NFL is doing this because it allows the neutral site. And it's unfortunate what has happened. And many people, whether you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan or a Kansas City Chiefs fan or a Buffalo Bills fan, will say that it's a little different and it's unfair. I think it's very fair what Roger Goodell is doing. Let's go over to another comment on YouTube. Red, White, and Bills, and shout out to Red, White, and Bills. Sean Kula of the Red, White, and Bills says, "Go Bills. Let's finish this on a 7-game win streak." You're exactly right, Sean. Looking forward to that 7-game win streak. Let's finish it out. Win this game for Damar. Get another victory. Head to the playoffs, and we'll see who we're going to play in the playoffs. Most likely, it'll be either the New England Patriots or I believe the Miami Dolphins in this case. So I'm looking forward to seeing who we're going to play, and we can knock the Patriots right out of the playoffs as well. Let's go over to the keys to the game for the Buffalo Bills. And I think that there's a few keys to the game. We'll start with the Bills on offense, and that's going to be giving the rock to guys like Devin Singletary and James Cook. And I think that this is going to be a key to the game because last time the Bills played the New England Patriots, they did their dirty work with the running backs. And I think that that's an area where Buffalo can have success against the New England Patriots and control the time of possession as well. So I think that that's going to be an area, number one, that Buffalo can win. It'll also allow Buffalo to utilize the play action where you can move Josh out to his right and get different receivers the ball as well. Number two, it's going to be execute the plays. It's been a few weeks where we've seen that the execution of the plays has not been the best. And I think it's going to be a game where Buffalo is going to have to execute better. And I think that they're going to be focused. They're going to be laser focused in this game. So the execution of the plays. Number three, penalties. Penalties have been a struggle for the Bills over the last few weeks, and it's going to be something that needs to be cleaned up. This New England Patriots team does not give you a ton of penalties, so if we're beating ourselves, that's not going to be a good case in this game. And number four, I think you're going to have to get the ball to your playmakers, especially often and early, especially on the outside perimeters with guys like Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Get them the ball as much as possible, and it'll open up the offense with our running backs as well. As for the defense, got to stop the run in this game. It's going to be very important. You have Ramondre Stevenson, who's averaging 4.8 yards per carry. Going to have to stop the run against him, as well as I would say this is very important, is to get to the quarterback with your four-man rush in this game, and play that soft zone to the different wide receivers that are for the New England Patriots as well. And then the most important thing is tackling. You've seen over the last few weeks, it's been a struggle for the Bills, and although good job against the Chicago Bears of tackling, there needs to be a bigger emphasis on wrapping guys up and getting them down, because there's been a few plays where the yards after contact has been a battle for the Buffalo Bills. So I would add that in as well. As for score predictions for this game, I have the Bills winning this game by a lot. And I do think that it's going to be a score of, and let's hear me out, 41-17 in favor of the Buffalo Bills, and a win for Damar Hamlin that'll send Buffalo to the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And as the Red, White, and Bills said in their comments as well, there's a case where Buffalo could play a number of teams, but the 4 teams being in the past, the Miami Dolphins, the Steelers, or the Jaguars as well. So that's my score prediction for the game. Red, White, and Bills says 38-19 in favor of the Buffalo Bills, I'm hoping. So I'm predicting 41-17 in favor of our Buffalo Bills, getting the win for Damar Hamlin. And you know the atmosphere is going to be emotional in Highmark Stadium. Can't wait to hear all the cheers and everything that you're going to hear. I hope that they do something for Denny and give him a video shout out on the big Jumbotron of Highmark Stadium. He deserves it, as well as UC Medical Center and the doctors that are helping Damar get back to 100%. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter, as well as on our new website, gobillspodcast.com. Don't forget to go over to the gobillspodcast.com, and you will see all of our upcoming events that are going on and all of our upcoming shows that we're going to be doing with guys like Red, White, and Bills, as well as Nickel City Mafia, Chill Cell Bills, and a few other accounts that we're going to be doing shows with as well. So don't forget to go over to that website and get all your updates for the Buffalo Bills as well. And also, don't forget to join us for our pregame show. Tomorrow, we're going to have one with the Red, White, and Bills at 11 o'clock tomorrow for a pregame show early on. That's Eastern Standard Time, as well as our pregame show about 30 minutes before kickoff. We'll start that, so 12:30. That'll be airing the inactives for the Buffalo Bills as well as the New England Patriots. We'll have some keys to the game as well. And as well as if there's any content that you want us to add, please shoot us a message on Instagram at Go Bills Podcast. You can find us on Instagram. Shoot us a message of anything that you want us to talk about on the page. And I apologize about that. That was my buddy that was sending me a call, and he was trying to get a hold of me while we were on the live real quick. But go on our Instagram and shoot us a message of anything, any content that you want to be aired on our show, as well as if you're at the Bills game, if you have any photos or anything that you want to share with us, shoot us a message on Instagram, and we'll try to feature you on our website as well. This has been the Go Bills Podcast, and we will see you next time for another edition of the Go Bills Podcast. Until then, let's send our prayers over to Damar Hamlin and his family at this time as they're after the battle that they're going on, and wish all a speedy recovery to Damar as well. Until then, go Bills and keep 3 in your prayers.